You'll hurt his feelings. It was just an accident.
Accident, my ass. Get rid of him.
Dad, we've made our decision.
Okay, but it's the last time I set foot in this house. 4.
Fine shot.
Oh! I should have yelled 2.
All right, it's time for another edition of You Make the Call.
IBM presents You Make the Call.
Aaron Jones fumbles a pitch, similar to a fumble Ty Chandler had in Week 5 against the Jets. Both plays resulted in turnovers, showing that the Vikings are terrible at running these toss pitch plays. The Vikings need a safe play to start their next drive. What does Kevin O'Connell call? You make the O'Connell call. Does he call an A, simple handoff up the middle? B, the exact same play they just ran? C, an end around to Jalen Naylor for a 7-yard loss? D, a quick pass to Justin Jefferson for 6 yards? Or E, the refs call a penalty on each and every Titans defender, every Titans coach, the Titans cheerleaders, causing the NFL to contract the Titans franchise? The answer, of course, is B. They run the exact same toss play that resulted in a fumble and a turnover on the prior drive. Now, this one didn't result in a fumble and a turnover, but it didn't get a whole lot. And they kept running the toss, running it over and over again. They must have run it 3 or 4 more times during the game. Really got nowhere, but they were willing to take that risk over and over just to, I guess, keep my butt cheeks clenched throughout the game. Maybe Kevin O'Connell's a masochist. But let's talk about the MVP for the Vikings, the officials. There are a lot of penalties called on the Titans and very few called on the Vikings. Maybe all of them were justified against the Titans. Come on. If the scales were weighted that far against the Vikings in terms of penalties, a lot of Vikings fans would be losing their crap over it. They'd be going ballistic on how it's a conspiracy against us and the refs have it out for us and all that. Few calls go the other way. Maybe this is a different game. And that's why you don't complain too much about officials. And you worry about who makes enough plays to win. You worry about your offense being able to catch that sure touchdown pass to put the game away that Naylor drops.
Oh, are you kidding? He should have had that.
Your offensive line being able to block somebody on some third down at some point in the game and not rely on Darnold to escape pressure and make a miraculous play. You got to count on winning some physical battles in the trenches occasionally. You need an offense that can put up points and not rely on the defense to stop the opposing offense every drive. The defense was certainly better than the offense today, but they also had their characteristic just butt-awful collapse, a 98-yard touchdown pass that kind of got the Titans back into it. And there was another touchdown pass, I think the next drive, that luckily was called back because of a penalty, which had nothing to do with really whether the Vikings gave up that touchdown or not. They were very fortunate to be bailed out. It's unfortunate. That's why you need an offense that can occasionally make a big play to put the game away, which we haven't had at all. The late game offense today and recent weeks has just been terrible. It's ugly. Now, my next big question, when did we see the first patented Sam Darnold reverse spin? That was actually early in the first quarter. Only took till like few minutes in. Darnold did his reverse spin. Saw a couple more of those reverse spins. They worked better this week than they have in past weeks. In a lot of past weeks, the reverse spin is like a 15-yard sack. This week, he was able to escape a couple times, make some good plays. Darnold was way better this week than he's been in recent weeks. And he did make that throw to Naylor that it was underthrown a little, but it should have been caught. Should have put the game away. And I think we'd feel a lot different about the game and Darnold if that catch was made. And Darnold was kind of dirty today. He had some of those dirty Darnold plays that we were seeing the first few weeks and haven't seen recently. End of the first quarter, just a filthy, disgusting play. And a couple more plays early on. And if Naylor catches that deep bomb, that was about as filthy as it gets. That would have been the dirty Darnold play of the year maybe, but unfortunately It hit the turf, and Vikings had to kind of gut it out in the end. And they played the opposing quarterback. I think his name was Elvis. Something that's I guess he didn't know it's Elvis is from Memphis, not Nashville. But the Vikings at times made him look a lot better than they should have. They put a lot of pressure on him. And, he didn't look great most of the game, but 98-yard touchdown, another touchdown that was called back. None of that matters if the offense can put up a few more points. But they didn't. So the game was closer than it needed to be. Our awards for this week. The award for an official who's going to get fired. That's whoever called that unnecessary roughness on Sam Darnold. I think this is the second week in a row an official is just, it's ridiculous. You do not call unnecessary roughness on Sam Darnold, ever. It's not a thing. Fired. The Greg Joseph impression of the week. That goes to the Vikings kicker. What's his name? Parker Lewis can't lose Romo or whatever. Last week, he just did the worst Greg Joseph impression. What an idiot. He tried to hit the right upright, and just like a moron, he kicked it inside the upright and got a field goal. This week on the extra point, just dead center, hit that upright.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, what a waste.
Bam! Nice Greg Joseph impression there. Oh, deserves that award. Keep it up, Romo. Now, this next one's a combined award. It's 2 awards in one. It's the Joe Buck Award for an idiot announcer.
I don't think that ball hits the ground.
And the Laquan Treadwell Award for being wrong about 2 things on the same play.
He dropped a pass, and he was way 5 yards short of what would have been a first down if he was anywhere near the first down if he had caught it. So he didn't catch it. He's nowhere near a first down, but he gets up and signals first down.
That was a punt. I think it was in the 3rd quarter. The announcer's like, Jordan Addison calls for a fair catch.
Stonehouse on the punt. Fair catch signaled here by Addison at the 26, crosses the 30-yard line, and they're going to get him down right around that 34.
It was actually Brandon Powell returning the punt, not calling for a fair catch. So that was very much a Joe Buck and Laquan Treadwell synthesis of the 2 worst pieces of crap who've ever been associated with the NFL. Whoever that announcer is, don't know his name, not look it up. Worst ever. Worst ever. Chris Collinsworth notwithstanding.
I could have almost predicted.
The My Ex-Wife Shaving Her Legs Award for something that happens once a year. That's Sam Darnold locating a wide open Jordan Addison. He had a nice touchdown catch. That was nice to see. The month sighting of the week. That was in the 4th quarter. That was a pretty play. That dump off screen to the tight end. He made the most of it. The My Ex-Wife Having a Fake Mental Breakdown Award for something that happens once a week. That's Aaron Jones leaving the game with a nagging injury. That happened early in the second half. Probably happened multiple times, but I think I just saw it happen once. And the Patrick Peterson Award for piss poor effort. Patrick Peterson! I think I could outrun this guy. That goes to Cam Bynum, who one of the last drives for the Titans, it was just a dump-off pass to the outside, and he let the guy just run right inside of him for 30 yards. Patrick Peterson would have been proud. Might be suing him, actually. So the key takeaways, a road win is a road win. It was definitely a bad team they were playing. Vikings got a lot of help from the officials. Even if they were legitimate calls, those were extending drives the Vikings didn't deserve to have extended necessarily. Okay? Vikings got a lot of help from their opponent, which they're not going to get from good teams. A good team would have beaten the Vikings today. So it's good. They're 8-2. Don't feel too bad, but overall, it's kind of the same story. The offense does a little, but gets kind of the least they can out of the yards they produce. And they're reliant on the defense continuing to hold the opposing offense. Losing in the trenches. It seemed like the O-line got blown up the whole game. Darnold was running for his life. He made some good plays, played pretty well. But that's not a recipe for victory week in and week out. So 8-2. Who do they play next week? I never actually know. Probably not a very good team. At the Bears. This is another one of those games where it's you just have to win. But if you win, it doesn't prove anything. It's kind of a no-win situation. But they could win that. They could be 9-2. Then they come home, play the Cardinals. 10-2? Going up against Kirk Cousins and the Falcons in week 14? I mean, let's do it. Let's do it, boys. Let's be 10-2 going up against Kirk Cousins and just annihilate him. Let's go.
Save us.